Okay. Good morning, my 10 family. We're preparing to have our call from Las Vegas, Nevada this morning, and we're very fortunate to have two distinguishing gentlemen accompanying me on this call. But before I bring them to the call, I would like to address those who may be listening for the first time, new to our call, new to our business, from invitations that have gone out to people to join us this morning, to give them proper acknowledgement with respect to our co-founders, Mel and Amy Gill, who were most gracious and most philanthropic to provide us with an opportunity of a lifetime where ordinary and average individuals can realize an extraordinary and above average lifestyle. Team Method Network allows one, as Pastor Denise would say, to move from fact to faith to action. For those who may be new listening in, this lifestyle call puts an emphasis on 5 remarkable vitamin sprays that will impact the health condition around the world. And this weekend, we have a 6th product that will be unveiled to us during our celebration Saturday at the extravaganza. Our company's new mantra is making better health convenient. And we start with vitamin D, D power. We call that the sunshine vitamin. It has D3, vitamin E, and xylitol. It really enhances the immune system and provides support to providing immunity and offsetting sickness, illness, and degenerative diseases. Over 100 million people in the United States are vitamin D deficient. Our next product is B Boost with B3, B6, B12, providing better health and making it more convenient to enhance organs affecting the central nervous system, providing cognitive support and gastrointestinal tract support. Our third product, Slim, blocks fat, burns fat, and keeps fat from coming back with friends. This oil spray is a powerful appetite suppressor. One can conceivably lose 3 to 10 pounds the first week. Our fourth product, my personal favorite, Super 10, making better health more convenient with 10 superfoods, targeting inflammation, oxidation, and detoxification. Our fifth product, Cell Energy, enhances health on a cellular level by restoring, regenerating, and replacing dead cells, which can predispose our physiology to a cancerous and degenerative environment. We have glutathione, the most powerful mother of all antioxidants, complemented with alpha lipoic acid. I would like to say, and I tell people and my customers especially, whatever health challenges the doctors may say, just open your mouth and spray away. Accompanying me on this call this morning, I'm really excited about, because this gentleman doesn't have the occasion to join us often because of his occupational commitments. Working in Virginia, this gentleman has distinguished himself as an executive founding member in 10. He avails himself. He's very generous with his time and whatever he can do to facilitate the expansion of our 10 family brand. He will be my first guest. Help me welcome to the phone, coming to you from Las Vegas, my brother from another mother, executive founding member, Jesse Bowden. Are you there, Jesse?
Hey, Brother Paul Jackson, what a pleasure it is to be invited on this call. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you quite well.
Hey, calling from Las Vegas, man. I'm telling you. Hey, you know what? I want to share my testimony with the folks out there who haven't had a chance to listen to my testimony.
Appreciate it.
And especially I want to say that our sprays work. And 2 years ago, I found out I had type 2 diabetes. And I thought that was a death sentence. And not only that, I was also vitamin D deficient. My vitamin D level was a 19. And normal range for vitamin D should be 50 and above. I was a 19, so I was extremely deficient in vitamin D. Not only that, when I found out I had diabetes, my blood glucose level, which they call A1C test, was a 11. That's extremely high because for diabetes, those of us who have type 2, your blood sugar level should be, or your A1C should be 7 and below. Mine was 11. That's extremely high. So what the doctor did was he put me on metformin. And metformin is the most common form of medication used to treat diabetes. So he put me on the metformin. And every day I got to take this 1,000 milligram pill. So I've been taking a pill every day, once a day. And then after 90 days, it was time for me to have my A1C test so they can get that 90-day reading, what my blood sugar level was. So they did that, and my sugar level went down to a 7.8 from 11. Still high. Another 90 days, went down to 7.4. And again, 7.4 again. So the doctor said, Jesse, look, we need to get down below 7. And I'm saying, well, doctor, look, hey, 7.4 is not that bad. He said, no, we need to get it below 7. So to be honest, I was going back and forth in that peach cobbler and ice cream that I couldn't quite give up because I was told if I can continue to eat that as long as it's in moderation. So anyway, it was a coincidence that I was attending a TTP, a 10 tasting party, and our sprays had just come out. And I found out during a video that was shown that our vitamin D, our D power, has the capability of lowering your blood sugar level. And not only that, like I said, I was extremely low in vitamin D because my vitamin D levels are 19. So anyway, I started taking the spray. 90 days later, it was time for me to have my blood work done again. And I did that, went home. A couple of days later, I called the doctor's office up to find out what my results were. And the nurse got on the phone. She said, Justy, I'm not sure what you're doing, but whatever it is, you need to keep doing it. She seemed to think that the metformin was working. I said, no. I said, well, what is my blood sugar level? She said it was a 6.6, which is well within the range that it should be. Then the only thing I did different was I started taking the D power, and my blood sugar level had been below 7 ever since. And not just that, but my vitamin D level went from a 19 all the way up, and it should be 50 and above. But my vitamin D level right now is 104.9, which is well within the which I have enough vitamin D to probably supply everybody in Vegas. But of course, they don't need it because we got plenty of sun out here. But anyway, what we found out in our research is that cancer cells cannot live in levels above 80. I'm at 104. So if anybody out there who's not familiar with our sprays and want to know how they can get their blood sugar level lower and their vitamin D level up, give me a call or just, hey, you really need to try our sprays. They do work. Thank you, Paul Jackson.
I got to tell you, Jesse, that's phenomenal. I thank you so much. Every time I hear your testimony, it's very empowering, and it reinforces the fact that these sprays truly do work, and they are remarkable. We understand that we can't claim cures, treatments, or diagnose anything because we're not doctors. But what we try to do is speak to the testimony of people who have had challenges prior to taking the sprays. And now, after having taken the sprays and over a period of time, they have realized tremendous benefit. Their functionality is enhanced and the challenges is not as evident as it was before taking the spray. So we speak to the testimonies to validate the benefit and the efficacy of the product. And we all are in agreement with that. Jesse, I want to ask you a question while I have you on the line. You made a sacrifice in coming here to Las Vegas, as a lot of us have, being that you have occupational obligations. You miss some time at work. I'm sure with all the money you make, that was significant. But you made the sacrifice to join us here in Las Vegas. Could you share with our listening audience why you made the decision to come to Vegas for our extravaganza and why it was important to you?
Okay, Paul, it's all about this, man. I know that big things happen at big events. And you know what? Tomorrow we celebrate. So there's no way in the world I was going to miss this, So that's why I'm here. And for those who are actually getting to Vegas and having the opportunity to actually sit in on one of these, participate in one of these big events like this, I'm telling you, it's going to be worth your time. And you're going to hear all kinds of testimonies of how well our sprays work and the benefits that folks are getting from it. You really don't want to miss out on this. And it gives you a whole bunch of this great information to go back and share with all your team members. That's why I'm here.
Well, thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much for joining me on the call. I appreciate you situating your time. I know we all have challenges. I want to give you a consolation to let you know we both, you and I, we share the same challenge of our appreciation for peach cobbler and ice cream. So I just wanted you to know you weren't by yourself with that, right?
Hey, appreciate it. That's good to know, Paul.
All right. Second, we're bringing to the call who was able to join us this morning, and I thank him in advance for being available to share with our listening 10 family. But before I introduce him to you, I want to give proper acknowledgement to his phenomenal lady, Miss Yolanda Smith. She distinguishes herself in all that she does to provide support to our 10 family at our big events, at our local events, everything that she can do to enhance and engage people. She does that marvelously. Her creative skill and talents are very evident, and we commend her for that. Pastor Denise and Pastor Dale has commended her on many occasions for providing tremendous creative in her artistic support to our team. So I am speaking of my sister, Miss Yolanda Smith, who complements this gentleman that I'm getting ready to bring to the call. They are a dynamic duo, and I feel blessed to have them as my brother and sister in my business as well as in my family. So without further ado, the second person that I will bring to the call is phenomenal in his retail business. He has done over 15,000 generated in retail sales. Dr. Kevin Vaughn yesterday shared with us that one way that you can overcome the business incidentals that you may come upon in building this network of 10 to offset your costs and to provide you a little more revenue is to make a greater emphasis on the retailing of the products that we have. This gentleman has done that distinctly, and I commend his effort. Mr. Robert Smith, my brother from another mother, soon to be one star, Mr. Robert Smith. Are you there? Have you joined us on this call?
Yes, sir. I am here, Paul. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm humbly honored.
Robert, can you tell us what it is that drew you to make the commitment to come to Las Vegas? You are a person, just like my brother Jesse, who does quite well occupationally. The money is significant, not to embarrass you, but you made a sacrifice to step away from what you do occupationally to come here to Las Vegas. Can you share with our 10 family why you did that and why you were compelled to make the sacrifice?
Okay, I'm compelled because I want a better lifestyle for myself and my family, and I want to create a legacy for my family as well. And in order to do that, you must make sacrifices. You must make changes in your life. You must change your mindset to accommodate that. And along with that, you have to also be willing to be uncomfortable with the situation, because it's not a comfortable ride to the road to the top. So you must be uncomfortably comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I sure like the way you put that. You know, Robert, you are right on. You are on the mark. Books that I read, one of the books that you shared with us and you mentioned to me, they talk about being in a position to do things that might be uncomfortable in order to realize what average and ordinary people aren't able to realize, and that the sacrifice is made up front in part of paying the price. But Mel reminds us to have fun in doing it, because if you're not having fun, you're not really doing it right. But there is sacrifice and there's commitment. So I commend your sacrifice in getting here. But I want to ask you another question, if I could. Robert, when you do the retail part of our business, it's remarkable that you're able to move the product so phenomenally. You know, can you share with our listening audience, what do you say to people? I mean, what do you do to engage them to embrace this remarkable oil vitamin spray?
Well, if I'm within a few feet of anyone, I just try to talk to them, or try to talk about it. Just start a conversation with them, and then I'll ask them, how they doing, and we may talk about the weather or something, and then eventually they may get into a conversation where they're saying, I asked them, do they know about vitamins? Have they ever heard of vitamin sprays? They say no, they don't, but they vitamin D deficient. I said, yeah, most Americans are vitamin D deficient, like over 100 million of them. And a lot of us cannot take pills. And then they'll say, oh, I can't take pills. I said, well, can you take a spray? They said, a spray? No, I ain't never heard of a spray. I said, yeah, well, we have spray now. This phenomenal company called 10, and the CEOs of the company, they started this business. Not only were they in IT business first for 12 years, but children had challenges with taking vitamin pills. So they came across, but because they were already rich, they came across people that could tell them how to better get the absorption in their kids' system through an oil vitamin spray. And so they gave it to their kids, and then they took it. And so I said, that's what sold me on the vitamin spray. And then not only that, when I came across the vitamin spray and took it for myself, then it helped me in a whole lot of areas of my life, not only the allergies, not only with inflammation, but with my blood pressure. And I am so grateful to Mel and Amy. I'm so grateful for Maureen Murphy-Smith for coming into the business and talking to Mike and Linda McLean, and then Mike and Linda came talking to Mr. Tucker and Renetta, who talked to you and Frida, and you talked to me and Yolanda. And that's how I got here. And I'm loving all y'all for it. And I'm so grateful and blessed to be in this company, because this is the kind of company that I always wanted to be in, a company that help people, because I like helping people.
Well, we thank you, Robert and Yolanda. We thank your wife. She's so phenomenal and so engaging. One last question, and then I'm going to let you go as we prepare to receive our quotes for today as this call begins to come to an end. I want to ask you, Robert, you know that the money is there. You told me about that many times, and you make good income as it is. But this lifestyle and this legacy that you're talking about, you really see this for your family as far as 10 is concerned?
Yes, because of timing and positioning, I see it. And also, I've never been in a situation like this where I've been in front of something. And I really feel blessed, like I said, to be in this business. And I'm hoping that all the people that I get in this business or get in front of this business, they'll see it like I do. Although people don't see things like you do all the time, but you give it your all, and God will bless you for it.
Well, thank you, Robert. Thank you, Jesse, for being on the call with us. You two gentlemen should be commended in what you bring to our 10 family and how you have distinguished yourself in this company. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so feeling blessed that you are my brothers. And I thank you. My wife thanks you. We have to mention, before we introduce our lady that provides us the quotes, that we have to be mindful of sharing this business as Mel and Amy shared with us. There are people in this country who are challenged economically and with their health. We have a way to impact them, not only with information, but the ability to change and enhance their physical lives. We need to be diligent in doing that with a passion. If we can position ourselves to be a blessing to other people, then my Father, my Heavenly Father, will convey abundance to us. And I leave you with that. As I prepared to introduce the lady who's going to bring us our quotes for today, I first want to acknowledge that she is a remarkable lady in the UK. And she is most eloquent in impacting us, our 10 family, with helpful insights and information. She is an information facilitator. She's my reason for sticking around and staying to the end of this call throughout its entirety. Who reminds me that if you want your health to be cool, you need to stay tuned in to Dr. Poole. Dr. Nita Poole, are you with us this morning?
I am here. Can you hear me, Paul?
Yes, ma'am. Always good to hear your voice, Doc. I am so happy that you're able to situate the time to join us. Every time I hear you is a benefit. And thank you for doing all that you do for us.
Thank you so much, Paul. You know, those are really kind words, and I really do appreciate. And I tell you what, it's not only Dr. Poole who's cool, it's certainly Paul Jackson who's cool, and it's a whole team, and in fact, the whole of Team Effort Network, because we work with each other regardless of team. And, you know, Paul is such a wonderful, wonderful example of a true, true leader. He's not only articulate, he's authentic, he's humble, he's loyal, and he's certainly got the rhythm, folks. You can just hear it in his voice. And boy, has he got charisma. And of course, he's got knowledge. You know, he's trained himself. He's made sure he's been on the calls. He's been on trainings. He's gone to the TTPs. He's listened to others, and he keeps learning. So he's a wonderful, wonderful example. Basically, we need to ask people, and those were great, great tips from Robert Smith, by the way, and Jesse, you know, absolutely wonderful. And that's a fantastic testimonial from Jesse. In fact, I often quote Jesse when I'm speaking to people. You know, that's a great, great story. And of course, it's not unusual. We have many people with type 2 diabetes who've actually improved, even they've come off their medication. And obviously, we don't claim to treat, cure, or prevent any disorders, but you only have to go onto Google and type in vitamin D and diabetes, and you'll see there's a lot of research that's been going on about the association between low D3 and an increased incidence of diabetes. So, you know, there's real science behind this. And of course, our TEN sprays, they're natural, they're high quality ingredients, the doses are great, and of course, we've got one of the best ways of delivery of that vitamin D3 into the body, getting right through to the cells, through the mucosa in the mouth, straight into the bloodstream, bypassing the digestive system, and that's why it's got about a 90% absorption rate. And that's why Jesse, you know, he went from 19 to nearly 105, his D3 level, because of the great, great, great absorption rate. And boy, is this weekend exciting, my goodness. And with Mel announcing that we're going to have another avenue as well, in addition to the sprays, that's an equally high absorption rate. My goodness, we are going to corner the market, folks, on nutritional supplements with a high absorption rate. And why do we need a high absorption rate? Because we don't want to be wasting our money. We don't want to be taking tablets, pills, capsules that only have a 10% absorption rate. 90% of our money is being wasted. And in any case, those pills, tablets, you can only make a pill tablet if you put fillers and binders in it, which are, of course, unnatural substances. And, of course, they're not easily broken down by the digestive system. So the amount of true ingredient that's getting into the bloodstream via the digestive system is actually extremely small. That's why, for example, I was on vitamin D3 tablets for years, over 2 years, and it only shifted me from 30 to 40 after 2 years, my blood level. Whereas 6 months on the D-Power and the TEN sprays, it's way over 100. And of course, I'm feeling so much better. So, this is absolutely remarkable and great, great science behind it. So we need to ask people, and we need to consider ourselves, what's your wellness worth? What's our wellness worth? And if we really think about it, folks, wellness is priceless. You cannot do anything without health. And trying to do things without health, it's an uphill struggle. And I've experienced that myself, folks. So, wellness is priceless. And therefore, what we have in our hands with the TEN sprays, it's priceless. And when we add to that, when we consider that we have already, in addition to that, an unlimited income opportunity, that's a simple pay plan, just enroll 2 people, one on one side, one on the other, and help those 2 find their 2 and duplicate exactly the same thing. And then just keep doing that, basically. Find 2, help those find 2. Find 2, help those find 2. That's the pay plan. That's the business plan. It's not complicated. So we've got a simple way of taking oral vitamin, minerals, antioxidants, and slimming sprays, and there's going to be more. We've got a simple method of delivery that's highly effective into our bloodstream and into the cells and tissue. We've got a simple pay plan that's easy to explain, easy to understand, and easy to go out there and do, basically. So we've got it all, and our wellness is priceless. TEN, T-Method Network, is absolutely priceless. And it's not only ourselves and other adults we need to think about, it's the next generation as well. I saw a program recently. It was really sad what I saw. 1 in every 100 babies born in Britain is now born brain damaged with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, FASD they call it. And it's because the mothers drank alcohol in pregnancy, not realizing that it had a very high chance of affecting through the placenta, directly through the baby. And these babies were born brain damaged in a way that is irrecoverable for the rest of their life. It affected their behavior, it affected what they could do, their feelings, how they related to people. And the mother's nutrition is extremely important. In fact, they say the parent's nutrition is extremely important to the whole family. Children take their leads from their parents in the early years. Later on as teenagers, yes, they're very influenced by media and they're very influenced by peer group. So it's even more important to set those standards and to educate them when they're young. And it starts in the womb. What the mother's eating, what the mother's doing is incredibly important for the baby, and then it's very important for the whole family, basically. So, for example, we've got a very high level of alcoholic liver disease in the whole world, basically, because people don't realize that more than just a little bit of drink, just a little is okay. Very little, in fact. Yes, it relaxes one, and relaxation is good because it decreases the stress, but alcohol has an awful lot of toxins in it, and that's what's so damaging. Of course, there are other very, very high causes of liver disease, other toxins, And even obesity can cause liver disease because of the fat around the liver. So in these cases where the mother was having alcohol and too much alcohol when they were pregnant, the alcohol's not only just going to the brain, it's going to that baby's organs all the way around that baby's body, basically. So what the mother has in pregnancy is very important, and the example she sets for the whole family is incredibly important. And why do I mention this? Because we have powerful, powerful, powerful natural antioxidants in our Super 10, in our cell energy, that help to mop up the toxins and mop up the free radicals in the body. Now, obviously, any pregnant person should be checking with their medics, checking with their chemist when they take any nutritional supplements. Our nutritional supplements are absolutely fantastic, and they are very, very high quality. So there's a greater chance of somebody being able to use our supplements, especially if they have any disorders, especially if they have any toxic illnesses, especially if they are pregnant. But obviously they do need to check with their doctors and their pharmacists, and they do need to check the dosages. So it is absolutely wonderful what we have in our hands. And when you consider that the statistics show that literally, business leaders are actually saying we have a lost generation of teenagers. We have a generation of teenagers that are growing up socially awkward because of the very high use of smartphones, laptops, computers, social media, iPods. Now it's going to be smart watches. Then it's going to be smart clothing. Technology is going into absolutely everything. And if one isn't wise and the parents don't set a great example of putting health and well-being first, putting nutrition first, exercise first, sleep first, all these healthy principles first, then we're going to have another lost generation. So, what we're offering here is not only wellness through the product, but income through the opportunity, and in addition, training, wonderful training through these TEI calls, basically, and other things that we have, webinars on the TEN calendar, many different other things as well. We have Facebook groups that you can plug into to get the details of what's going on, tips, and all sorts of education, basically. And we're building a global family. Here I am speaking from the UK across the pond, basically, to wonderful brothers and sisters out there in the USA, and in fact the world. We have Asia tapping into these calls as well as the UK, and then later on it's going to be Australia, New Zealand, Europe, Canada, Mexico. We're looking at opening up many different countries for the future. My video talk is already open in, globally, and we're going to take Team Effort Network global. So, all those socially awkward teenagers, actually anyone over 18 can actually join Team Effort Network. And they're actually getting training that is life-changing training as well. So we've got a hell of a lot to offer. And on the scientific front, my goodness, we have a hell of a lot to offer there on the scientific front. Multiple sclerosis, very, very debilitating disorder. You heard Shakina and some other people this week mention how the myelin sheath around the nerves gets damaged, and so the person can lose actually neurological function. They can become paralyzed. They experience a lot of pain, a lot of sensitivity, a lot of muscle weakness, and it's a very, very debilitating disorder. I read an article that a doctor in Asia is having great success giving his patients vitamin B12 injections, and people with multiple sclerosis are improving. And in the West, he was banned from doing that. How extremely sad. Here we have B12 in an oral spray that has a 90% absorption rate that's comparable to an injection. Imagine if people with that disorder tried it and happened to improve. Now, obviously, they need to do it in conjunction with their medics. They need to be confident that what they're doing is right for them. But that's just one example. The scientists are actually working on stem cell transplants, basically. Stem cells are the cells that all cells start at a very, very early stage as something called a stem cell. It's an undifferentiated cell. It's the paving towards other cells. And there's a lot of research going on in stem cells because it has the ability to regenerate into some other kind of cell. So people with damaged cells, like multiple sclerosis, damage of the myelin sheath around their nerves, or people with, say, damaged liver or damaged kidneys or damaged lungs, they're looking at stem cells to try and regenerate these damaged areas, basically. And with multiple sclerosis, they're looking at stem cells as a possible therapy for multiple sclerosis. Well, yes, great. That research is absolutely fantastic and absolutely right that it should continue. But imagine if we had in our hands something in our sprays that might, no guarantees, no claims to treat, cure, or prevent any particular disorder, but imagine if it happened to help someone. So, it's our duty to share this. Out in the world, big pharma have a huge grip on medicine. What I mean by that is the pharmaceutical companies have a huge grip on medicine. They have a huge grip. These are big multinational companies. They have a huge grip on governments. They have a huge grip on the city, on large business, etc. The charges for these drugs are extremely high. Obviously, not only to cover the cost of research into actually finding a drug that can help a disorder or treat a disorder, and then the research to conduct the trials to make sure that it's safe, and then the research to bring it to market, and then the advertising that goes to bring it to market is absolutely massive. So to try and recoup their expenditure, Big Pharma charge a lot for drugs. In some cases, there are even buyers clubs that are getting together to try and reduce the cost of the drugs, to try and buy in the drugs at better prices, to be able to distribute them to people who are in need of these drugs, who can't get them easily, but are able through the buyers clubs to possibly get them at the right price. Now, I'm not saying that that is right or wrong. In some countries it is legally possible to do that. In other countries it's not legally possible to do that. So I'm certainly not saying go out and do that. But what I'm doing here is giving you a flavor of what is happening in the scientific and medical world, the business world, and the illness world and the well-being world. That's the extremes that people are having to go to try and get wellness, to try and get healthy. And in many areas and cases, they can't get the drugs that they need. Well, obviously, we do not have drugs. We do not claim to treat, cure, or prevent any disorders. We have natural substances that work naturally in the body, that work holistically in the body, and that is how the body was meant to work. So this is a great, great thing to be associated. I'm very excited to hear. I certainly will be keeping in touch, on Facebook, on email, on text. I'm very excited to hear from all of you. Do post pictures of the Vegas event. Do post pictures of the slides in our private tenacious group that is only for representatives, and do post videos. and that will be wonderful. Terry, by the way, Terry Whitener has had a problem with his car that may stop him going to Vegas. So everyone, whatever pictures you can take, whatever videos you can take, it would be much appreciated. Terry may be able to make it last minute, but he's not absolutely sure at the moment. So usually he very, very, very well takes care of that for everyone and shares it with everyone. If he's not able to get there, folks, try and reciprocate and do that as well. So Christopher Robin said to Winnie the Pooh, the children's book, and in fact, that Winnie the Pooh series actually has a lot of sense. He said, "Promise me, Winnie, you'll always remember that you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Everyone is smarter than they think, and every single person who's a representative of Team Effort Network, whether it is only to use these wonderful TEN sprays or whether it is to make money too. My goodness, you're smart." But they also say nobody is as smart as the team. The team is what makes it, basically. In every case, they say we develop leaders that can build, sustain, and lead high-performance teams. And that's the stage we are now going into. We've got the infrastructure. We've got the teamwork. We're now going into the stage of filling every single representative with self-confidence and culture of personal responsibility so that collectively the whole team can achieve its goals. That's why we're called Team Effort Network. And that culture can happen with trust and a progressive culture that goes out there and shares these wonderful sprays and wonderful opportunity, basically. So, we have exactly that. Benjamin Franklin said, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember, but involve me and I learn." And that's the big thing about going to the events. Going to the events, you will definitely learn, you'll definitely be involved, and you'll definitely get a clear understanding of the direction, the uniqueness of the opportunity we have here, the sprays, the owners, and the wonderful team. Lastly, John F. Kennedy said, "Effort and courage are not enough without purpose and direction." So that purpose and direction definitely is going to happen in Vegas. We're going to have another new product, another new direction, and my goodness, let's take the world by storm. Back to you, Paul.
Thank you, Dr. Adita Poole. See, family, that's why you want to stay through this entirety. You definitely should be commended for your remarkable quotes and awesome, helpful insights that stimulate as well as illuminate and awaken us to so much that challenges us and the world. So we thank you, Doctor, for that. As we come to a conclusion, I want to acknowledge again my guests, my brothers who joined me on this call this morning, and I would appeal to my 10 family to go against the saying of what stays in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Please consider this. What you hear and see in 10 in Vegas, share it. Don't be a secret agent. Please do not let this stay in Las Vegas. All right. Having said that, that concludes our call for today. The weekend is forthcoming. We are in a celebrated mode, And we can't wait to put our arms, hug, and see everybody in our extended team family. And at the conclusion, come back with renewed vigor and commitment to share this with the masses. Have a safe and pleasant day and a celebrative weekend. Please listen for our coach, Nakisha Barnes. Monday, we start again. Have a good day, and God continue to bless you and yours. This concludes our call. Thanks a lot.